Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Vault Studio NFL podcast. I am one of your hosts, JA. I'm joined by Quadzilla, Scotty on the right side of the couch over there. I'll put the little host up so you know who he is. Ooh. And also the big spanner copper Kadaris. Looking
follow me at the Vault Studio.
Well, hey, we can only do what we can do. Like Tom can work magic, but he can only take things so far.
It's the only form of social media you got, exactly.
I can comfortably live without it too.
And shout out to our boy Tommy. He's working at the moment for the podcast, but he's here in spirit. He's setting up everything for us like an absolute fucking weapon. We miss you, Tommy. Hopefully, we can get a night. We can get you in the next few weeks.
I miss his scent.
Do you know what I miss? His fucking thick head of hair.
It's beautiful.
I haven't felt jealous of a head of hair for weeks. It's starting to get to me. Like I need to feel jealous. No, Scotty, I don't actually. I can see your brain ticking.
Oh, I've still got you.
Oh, absolutely. That's like, what are we doing here?
I'm outnumbered. The fucking toe balls are outnumbering me.
It's not just the thickness. It's just the quaff. It's just.
He does have a
beautiful quaff,
which is it's unlike the Arthur trait. He's breaking the mold.
Good for him.
And shout out to Tommy. Love you, Tommy.
Roscoe's still got a bit of hair going on.
Yeah, okay.
He's in his 70s. I mean, he's doing all right.
Give him a go. He's 70. He's 70 this year.
Shout out Roscoe.
Shout out Roscoe.
I know him like he's my dad.
I wish he was my dad.
I wish he was my dad. Oh, I don't have to. Yeah, but I still wish he's that good that I wish still for other people. You know what I mean?
Shut up. That doesn't make sense.
All right, let the socials follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and the Tickety Talk. We've been doing a ton of clips, getting a lot of responses.
Just a quick snippet. Make sure you guys follow some big things in the works.
Yeah,
this off season. Well, I won't allude to anything just yet.
Well, next week is the Vault Studios 600th episode.
That's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Been a long time.
We might. I'm going to speak to Tom during the week, and we might get some funny clips. See if we can put
wouldn't be hard. Go back and find
Mm-hmm.
when I first started and I said every single word wrong for like months.
We
need to find the whiteboard clips.
Do you know what we can do?
Down film.
I'll send it to Tommy. When we did our first season, when we used to do it for SEN, our first season, our boy Christos Tyler, who still listens, absolute legend,
shout out Christaki.
Producer Christaki, he did like at the end of that first season, did like a clip of all the dumb shit that we said. Now, 95% of it was me. And it was hysterical. I'll send it to Tommy so he can.
I love it.
I'm sure that our rabid fan base would have a montage of clips of.
We can even go back if you want. I've got
years.
30 clips of DJ and Jules because they were.
No. I know exactly where you're going with that.
We're not trying to get cancelled. We're just trying to have a laugh. Okay,
yeah. Right. And we can't get cancelled because we have a beautiful sponsor, the Sporting Globe Churnside Park. Make sure you head in there, download the app. Make sure you go to the account information, change it to the Vault Studio NFL podcast in sponsorship, and spend away during the footy season. NFL season is only 5 months away, so it's
around the corner.
It feels like a lifetime.
It's right around the corner.
But it's a cup of coffee. Have your coffee. The NFL will start.
And it leads us into what happened today was the Melbourne game. The tickets went live. That is 5.5 months away. The Melbourne game, opening game of second game of the NFL season. I think the Seahawks play someone the Wednesday.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be Chargers or Bears. I think.
Yeah, so it'll be the second game, opening game for these teams, and we were able to nab some tickets. I know there's a lot of upset people. I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of sick of hearing about the whinging now. Like there was a point today where I didn't think I'd get tickets, and I was lucky enough that a quick refresh got me a couple of tickets, which was awesome, but also I was perfectly fine if I missed out being like, there's 120,000 tickets and there's 500,000 people that want them. That's life.
Yeah. Someone's going to miss out.
Sometimes it's the rub of the green. So if you're talking about it, I get it. And I get the people who, we're lifelong fans. And, we've said it before as well, but unfortunately that's just the nature of supply and demand.
That's the way it sucks sometimes.
And there's still tickets available. So there are tickets still. They might not be in the price range you want, but if it's that desperate to you,
and check Facebook Marketplace in about 3 months because I'm sure there'll be some flogs on there trying to everybody. So
I hope not, but I hope people that don't need the tickets anymore because I know you could buy 6. So if people bought 6 thinking mates would come and then mates aren't going to come, I hope you do the right thing and sell them what you bought them for so people can go and not gouge them, because that's fucking criminal. Or actually, it's illegal.
Well, it
so,
is illegal, yeah.
So I hope you don't do
And
that.
then me and George will start knocking on your door.
Look, I love
We'll
the
find your
positivity.
information.
I love the positivity from you, but unfortunately, I know too much about society. With some
it'll happen. There's scumbags everywhere, unfortunately. But I think for all the, we said last week we had a bit of a spiel on it for the MCC stuff, where it was outrageously priced. I do agree that the MCG have labeled the tickets completely falsely.
Yeah.
The way they advertised the cost and what it actually cost was chalk and cheese. So it's disgusting, but that's also the world. Like, that's what they're going to do. They want as many people getting into that room trying to get $190 tickets, and unfortunately there was probably about 10,000 or not even 5,000 of them at that price, and the rest they scaled up very quickly. So it sucks for people. It sucks if you live interstate and you can't afford to go. I feel for you if you're a big fan and you can't do it. Like, I'm empathetic for your situation, but I'm not going to put up with the whinging about it. It sucks. Move on. Try and get a ticket. There will be more will come available. It will become open. You will have an opportunity. If you can't afford it, that's really shit, and that's an unfair part of life. But this is the nature of supply and demand.
It's not the nature of supply and demand. It's the issue is just the gouging. Like you touched on, and we touched on it last week. Like, how it was advertised and how it was when you were in the queues is vastly different, and that is disappointing.
It sold out in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And the standing room, the $140 standing room tickets, I think was about 19,000. Don't quote me. I think sold out in like 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
So obviously the people that were getting in first were like cheapest tickets available, and that's fine. But
you would just like to have had more of that.
Yeah, I think so. But it's
I guess the only, and I mean to sort of put a button on this, like the positive to come out of this is hopefully the NFL sees this and goes, well, there's clearly a big demand here. Let's bring it back.
And be honest, if the next one, if they want to do in Sydney with half the amount of tickets, go nuts. I'll also try and get a ticket.
Yeah,
it's fine. Like it's just like
Sydney can fuck off.
Well, I'm pretty on board with fuck Sydney, so that's fair.
Yeah.
But I think if you look at it from the NFL's point of view, they want to get as many bums on seats as possible.
The NFL achieved their goal.
This will prove that if they want to bring it back again, it will be at the MCG,
and it will sell out again very quickly.
Because the 300,000 people that missed out, which sucks. Hopefully you get the opportunity next time. Like, it wouldn't bother me if next time they said, if you got a ticket last time, you're at the back of the queue. Sure. It wouldn't bother me. Sure. I'd be like, fair. I saw
fine.
it.
I'll just buy your ticket next time. See?
Exactly. There's a way around it. Yeah. But I also think letting people buy 6 tickets was a bit much. I actually think 3 or 4, maybe 4, because they only sell them in even numbers because they don't want to let solo seats. I think that probably would have been fair. I think 6 is a lot. And I think a lot of people who got in early would have just bought 6 for the sake of buying 6.
That's fair.
I know previously for exhibition games that I've gone to for the basketball that it was capped at 4. So we'd have to have 2 or 3 people buying tickets.
Yeah.
And then working out the seating.
And I'm sure people would have missed out as well. Like it's...
Oh, of course. Yeah.
It's just, it sucks. Don't get me wrong. And I empathize with people that missed out. I do, as someone who got a ticket, and I said I wasn't super excited until I got a ticket, and then it became really real that there's going to be an NFL game in Australia. So let's just choose to celebrate the fact that the NFL is coming here. We've been asking for it for 10 years now. I'd say it's been on the radar, being talked about.
A good portion of 10
and
years
it's now here. So don't look a gift horse in the mouth, because if we do the right thing and we fill that stadium and we show them what we're about here and how much we love NFL, it will come back and people will get the opportunity. Much like in Europe and how it works there now. There's 4 games there in Europe.
NFL are interested in one thing only, and that is growing the game and making money while they're doing it. And that ticks all the boxes for here.
100%. Anything else you want to touch on that, or are we good to move on?
Let's move on.
And permanently move on. Move on until the week before the game when we'll talk about it again, because I'm not doing this every week.
No, we're done.
I'm over it now.
No. That and the replacement refs, we don't have to touch on any of that.
We'll replace them when something happens.
Yep.
So I'm good with that. Congratulations to those who got tickets. Commiserations to those who didn't. Feel sorry for you, but we move on.
It'd be cool if they do like a stakeout sort of thing around the stadium.
Like a tailgate. I think they will do something. That's what I'm interested to see now. Like, what are they going to be doing? There'll be a halftime performance. Hopefully it's Tina Arena, if you ask me. Old Aussie Tina.
Hey.
But I actually wasn't being fucking facetious.
Mate, I will not have any...
If she comes out and sings Chains, I'm like, God, you'll be hiding. I'll be screaming.
She's one of Australia's greatest talents.
Give it to Tina Arena. Or Kylie Minogue.
They'd give it to someone that's...
I hope Johnny Farnham comes out for one last time.
I
think he's crook, actually, Johnny Farnham. So I hope.
thought he was dead. Anyway,
No, he's not. I think he's very cooked though. But anyway, let's see how it pans out. It's exciting.
The 15
Everyone
year
should get
farewell
around it.
tour.
Everyone should get around the NFL game in Australia because then it'll come back. Let's quickly talk. I want to talk Sexy Dexy from the New York Giants.
Yeah, big news coming out.
Hashtag fuck the Giants. Just when you think the Giants are getting it all together, things are turning in the right direction.
They got Harbaugh.
Arguably, their best players like, hey, I fucking want out of here.
Arguably, I would say, yeah, definitely.
He's easily their best player.
He did have a bit of a down year last year.
Yeah.
It was still very good, but not to his usual standard.
Well, I think he dropped from 9 sacks to like 1.5 or 2 or something.
Yeah, it was a bit of a drop.
Everyone had a down year last year.
And I can tell you, if people are wondering why this is happening, how it's happening, it's because when he signed his contract 2 years ago, he was the highest paid defensive tackle. The defensive tackle arc in the NFL has started where they're becoming extremely valuable. Now his $20 million a year is outside of the top 10. You've got Chris Jones on $30 million a year. You've got Milton Williams on 27. Jordan Davis, I think, is on 28.
Yeah.
He feels he's better than all those players, and he's other than Chris Jones, it's probably a pretty fair argument.
I don't know about better, but he's definitely in the conversation.
He's definitely in the conversation, and he's holding out because he wants more money. And the way
he's sick of losing.
I think it's going to happen. I think the Giants they're going to give him more money, and he'll say.
Sure.
No, I think it's I'm sick of losing.
Do you think he just wants out?
I think he just wants out. He's like we're full steering into a rebuild, and he's like, I've probably got 3 or 4 years of playing at this level. I want to win. I've never been in the playoffs.
I'm wasting my prime. Yeah.
What's his value in a trade? Is it a first round pick?
I'll say first and a third. We'll get it done.
If I'm San Francisco, I'm making calls. I said it in that group chat.
Yeah.
Nah, because San Fran can't afford him. They can't afford him.
Yeah, that's a fair bit too.
Well, they're cutting. Well, Bosa's going to be gone. You can just give him Bosa's money.
They're not going to cut
Bosa.
Or they're going to trade him or do something.
I think if a team wanted him at $20 million a year, salary cap won't play a part in it.
Yeah.
No, but like it's a tightrope for San Fran because they got like Kittle, McCaffrey, Purdy, Wagner, Warner, Bosa. They got a lot of big fish there that they're paying.
Can I make a suggestion for a team that I think would be perfect? And we'll talk about them tonight. Buffalo Bills, first round pick 26 in the draft, maybe a third as well. They're just changing to a 3-4. He's a perfect nose tackle for them.
Yeah, but they got Ed Oliver though.
But Ed Oliver can play that. He can play. We'll talk about it. He can play the 4-eye.
Yeah,
you can play them like in your nickel package. They both play D tackle or 1 and a 3 sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think that'd be for switching into that system and wanting to. If you're they're in the window, that could be a really big move. And I think the Giants would probably say yes to that.
I think most good teams that are in the window would be at the very least having internal discussions.
Oh, even Seattle, who don't have their strength of their team's probably the D line would be like, hey, if you can get Sexy Dexy in with Big Cat, Byron Murphy, like you can put D-Law on the D-Law's like permanently on the edge now. You can put Big Cat on playing the 5 tech. Like every team can put one of the best interior D linemen on the team.
Exactly. A stud D tackle automatically elevates your entire defense.
I'm tipping it would have pricked a lot of ears up in the NFL scene when he became available.
As it should.
Didn't accidentally come out. Let's put it that way.
No, he knew what he was doing.
No, because he wants his money, and so he should. Like if he's not getting paid as a top 5 D tackle, he fucking should be.
All right. Yes or no? I want a yes or no answer. Does he get traded?
Yes.
No.
I say no too. I think Giants will.
This is purely an arm fucking bending exercise to get the money.
The Giants will restructure. They'll extend him, or they'll roll something into signing bonus to give him more upfront. They'll find a way. I think this is a money move.
I think if you can go into this rebuild, get Harbaugh guys, let him draft the guys, get an extra first, third, whatever the compensation works out to be, or have a disgruntled D lineman that may lose value.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the Giants' perspective is they should trade him, in my opinion. If I'm the Giants, I'm trading him.
Yeah, that's how I'm saying it.
If a first round pick's like a late first round pick's on the card to a contender, I'm trading him, but I don't think it will happen.
No. Like, that's the right move. I just don't think the Giants will do that. I think the Giants will pony up the money. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's fair too. All right, let's go to our what's the plan? So we've got 6 new teams to go through tonight.
So we've got some good teams tonight. Some good discussion tonight.
We're starting to get into some good teams now.
There's a lot of meat on this bone tonight.
Yeah, some good ones. And we'll start with Scotty. Obviously, I gave George the Seattle Seahawks, so Scotty naturally gets the Philadelphia Eagles.
And for the record, I thought I was pretty measured, pretty fair in my takes on the Seahawks.
Nah, actually.
You seem nervous, George.
No, not at all.
No, well, I think before we touch on the Eagles, we should probably touch on the big news that's coming out this week involving.
I think news is a very, very
What's new?
It's a very long bow.
I'm assuming you're talking about the Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, so there's a lot of smoke coming out in regards to Jalen Hurts, and some of the preparation is probably too strong, but some of the stuff that's happening with play calls being changed. There's a power struggle there that's reported with Jalen Hurts. There's a lack of.
It was reported started by a Philly beat writer.
There's been multiple different.
Started by Philly beat writer from an anonymous source, is what I read.
Well, but everyone does that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. That's what I read.
Yeah.
If he lives in the city of Philadelphia, he's actually got to protect himself. Like,
yeah, sure. I'm just saying that's what was reported.
So if you've been living under a rock, basically what's happening is that there's been multiple play callers in Philly over the years that have not had the play that they've run down to the huddle that's been executed on the field. And there's been a bit of pushback that like Jalen Hurts only wants to run the plays that he wants to run and feels comfortable running. And some of the other play calls that have been run down haven't been in his best interest or whatever the case has been. So he's changed it. There's been some disputes between players and
mainly
like
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown.
The relationship's apparently broken down.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is all speculative, but, and I guess where the fire is like the only time he's looked productive is when he's had very strong OCs in Cullen Moore and
Shane
Steichen.
Yep.
Which sort of he had his best years under, and then when he's had OCs that sort of he's won the power struggle with, he hasn't looked as good.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting development that. As a Seattle fan, I've seen this with Russell Wilson. It's very, very similar. Like very, very similar. Like Russell Wilson's sort of limited, doesn't pass in the middle of the field as much, relied on a deep ball. He's probably got a better deep ball than what Jalen Hurts does, but Jalen Hurts is head and shoulders better running with the ball. And Wilson would change the plays and it caused like a locker room fracture. And I think from all reports, there's cracks forming there, and depending on how big it gets is what, we won't know. And how well, I guess like the brass of Philadelphia can control it.
It's definitely like whenever this sort of stuff comes out, whether it's real, not real, it certainly creates a negative vibe in the locker room as you start reporting back. There's, awkwardness. Like, what do you do if you're a teammate that likes Jalen Hurts? Do you go and bring it up with him and go, hey, I don't agree with this stuff? It creates turmoil, right?
I think the players would know. And I think that the fact that it's coming out and it's so precise while he's still currently playing, because this stuff came out the year that Russ left, but it was going for a while, and Seattle sort of kept it in check, and there was a whisper here and there, but like, this is like, Hurts is what, a couple of years into his prime now? And like, it's blaring.
He's entering this is his 6th year as the full-time starter.
Yeah, so
his 7th year in the NFL, is that right?
Yeah, because he sat for a year behind Wentz.
Yeah, so like
he's in the second round, I think.
He's he's probably in his first or second year of his actual prime right now, and like usually these things don't come out until you're at the end of your prime.
Yeah,
so that from where I'm sitting, like that's a little bit worrying that there's big smoke and there's got to be a fire there somewhere. And I'm not like, sure, you can call me like a Hurts hater. I really don't hate him. I just hate the fact that he was forced to be a top 5 quarterback when it was clear that he wasn't.
I think this is a response to, obviously when they won the Super Bowl last year, the hype grew and the argument was that he was an elite quarterback. And it was a polarizing argument, much like this is now. And I think this is just the correction of it. It's
probably gone too far though.
They pushed him too far up, and now the correction's trying to pull him too far down.
Yeah.
I think in reality, Hurts is somewhere between the 10th and 15th best quarterback in the NFL.
Great.
He's a starter. He's a legitimate starter in the NFL. He has some limits to his skill set, but in fairness to him, he elevates in big moments. If you want to shit on Jalen Hurts for anything, you can't shit on him for playoff performances, especially Super Bowl performances. And I think this feels like an auto correction, and we actually won't know the truth or the evidence or what this is until the season starts. If it goes on and the Eagles win and they're a great team and they have a deep playoff run, this will be fucking water under a bridge. No one will care about it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
If the struggles from last season as an offense continue and they don't have Petula, because I think a lot of this has come from Petula as well.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up because that's what I was going to say. That like it's all well and good to say anonymous sources and this and that and the other.
It's
like,
Petula.
At the end of the day, it's obviously Petula because
you don't know though.
Well, you don't know, but also like
you can connect some dots.
You can connect a few dots and you can use a little bit of
could be the O-line coach.
Well, yeah, and potentially too. He's
like it
pretty
could be.
disgruntled.
Yeah,
potentially. Yeah,
like
well, the O-line coach didn't like Sirianni. The reports were he wanted his boss was the owner.
Howie, yeah,
was Jeffrey Lurie and Harry Roseman.
Yeah,
like he's
yeah.
like,
So
like
his
Nick's,
thing.
I don't want to like report to Nick. Basically,
yeah,
what he was
I do what I want to do.
Know,
And
but like
he can take it or leave.
He would intimately know exactly what the play calls are as well.
Of course he would.
So like just to throw one person under the bus, like it could be a few people here, and that's all.
Correct.
That's all my point is.
Yeah,
it might be a previous OC.
It could be Kellen Moore is now at another team.
That's what I mean.
Like, I don't see it. I think the most obvious scenario is that Petula got shipped out. He got scapegoated, which, let's be honest, he was a subpar. He should have never got the job. He should have never got the job.
That was Sirianni.
He was underqualified for the job.
Yep.
Sirianni gave him the job because it's his best mate. It's as simple as that.
But he had been in the building.
He'd been in the building for like 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
and that's fine. But he'd never called plays before. He'd never run an offense before. He was a nepo hire, and usually 9 times out of 10, a nepo hire gets shown the door pretty fucking quickly as well. Okay. So I'm glad you brought up the thing about Hurts because I had a little write up here that I wanted to read, and then we can talk about Philly so I've got a few things here that I want to read out. So I think the main issue is that when people discuss Jalen Hurts, it's quite often their feelings or opinions about him or his style of play that gets in the way of the facts. So what I want to do here before we start is I just want to hear a few facts about Hurts since he's become the full-time starter in Philadelphia, because things kind of become a blur and it can be difficult to remember things. I just want to lay out a few facts. In his time as a quarterback, in the NFL, he has had a different offensive coordinator every single year. So this year will be his 6th offensive coordinator in 6 years. Or if you want to take it back to college, since he started playing college, he's had 11 in 11 years. Hurts has had to learn a new system or verbiage almost every year that he's played quarterback. This would no doubt hinder his long-term development that we would otherwise get in a single offensive scheme. Another noteworthy fact is that 2 of his former OCs are now head coaches in Shane Steichen and Kellen Moore, and they were both given head coaching jobs based on their performance and by extension Hurts' performance the year that that they were his OC. So furthermore, he has a career winning percentage of 70%, including the playoffs, which amongst active QBs puts him behind only Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, who are both multiple-time league MVPs. In his time as a full-time starter, he has never missed the playoffs since he became the full-time starter. Josh Allen is the only other active quarterback that has achieved the same accomplishment. He finished second to Mahomes in the MVP race in 2022 when Shane Steichen was his offensive coordinator. He didn't have Saquon Barkley then. No. It was his team. He was a leader of that team, and he balled out that year, second in the MVP and a Super Bowl appearance. He has won 2 NFC titles, including one with an all-time record score in 2024 when they put 55 points on the Washington Commanders. He has won a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP, and very easily could have had a second of each if not for a dubious call, both times against a juggernaut team in the Chiefs. He has never said or done anything wrong to bring himself or the Eagles into disrepute. He has never publicly thrown a teammate under the bus and has always accepted full responsibility for all his missteps and poor performances on the field. There is not a single QB in the NFL not named Patrick Mahomes who wouldn't immediately swap their last 5 years for the 5 years that Hurts has had as a starter. So
there is a few.
Who?
Josh Allen and Lamar.
Yeah, but you're telling me they wouldn't swap their losing in the divisional round to make a Super Bowl?
Well, they're 3 of the last 5 MVPs.
Yeah, they're the MVPs. That's fine, but you're telling me they wouldn't swap 2 Super Bowl appearances and a Super Bowl win and a Super Bowl MVP? They wouldn't swap that.
Allen would, for sure.
Lamar would too.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
He'd swap both MVPs tomorrow for a chance to play in a Super Bowl. Josh Allen would.
Yeah.
100%. That's what I'm saying. So now, put that to the side. Let's forget about Hurts for a second and just think about this. There's not a single team in the NFL who wouldn't sign up for paying their quarterback $250 million, which is what Hurts' contract is, and then winning a Super Bowl with a chance to win a second, which is what it was, even if after the win, that QB's play completely fell off a cliff, which let's say that this year he has another really bad down year, even worse than last year, and we say that Hurts is now done as a starter in the NFL and his play is completely fallen off a cliff. Every team would still sign up to pay that money to guarantee to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but
there's not
that's
a team
not.
that wouldn't.
A lot of your points aren't good for Hurts either.
Yes, they are. What do you mean? These are all facts. These are all
No,
facts.
these are Philadelphia facts. They're not necessarily.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are, because he's a starting quarterback.
Can I argue?
No, but their team is built on their defense.
I've just got a little bit more, and then you can discuss whatever you want. So there's plenty of teams in the NFL that have paid their QBs huge money and have zero to show for it. The Cowboys, and I'm not shitting on the Cowboys. I'm just using you as an example because you're here in the room. The Cowboys, for example, will have paid Dak close to $500 million by the time it's all said and done, and haven't even sniffed an NFC Championship game, let alone a Super Bowl. Hurts has made 2 and won 1 and nearly won a second. At the end of the day, that's what this. And at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. It's all about winning Super Bowls, not the passing stats, not your lame hypotheticals, none of it. Because you do love a lame hypothetical. I'm sorry.
No, but like
your feelings or your opinions on how he looks, how he looks as a QB or how he plays are meaningless. You don't have to like him. You don't have to like his corny lines or his demeanor on and off the field. But his performances in big games and resume deserves to be respected. In fact, here on the Vault Studio, I'm going to propose a new rule that I think we all need to at least think about.
Here we go.
Propose a new rule on the show. From now on, the only people in the media that can criticize a Super Bowl MVP are other Super Bowl MVPs. And everyone else can respectfully zip it because your opinion.
That's ridiculous.
So that means you can never criticize Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
Well,
you've checkmated yourself.
and that's fine. And I'll happily adhere to that rule too. Because
if you adhere to that rule for 2 weeks, I'll adhere to the end of time.
I can't wait to fucking get into Patrick Mahomes later.
If you're a pleb like Dan Orlovsky who ran out of the back of the end zone, criticizing Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts, like your credibility zero. If you're Cam Newton, who was a hell of a player, who didn't dive on the ball in the Super Bowl, who's criticizing Jalen Hurts'
I'll take prime
ability.
Cam over prime Hurts any day of the week.
Well, you can if you want to, but like it don't mean a thing without that ring, baby.
It does though.
It does.
Here's my question: if Josh Allen is on the Eagles team for the past 5 years, has he won a Super Bowl?
Maybe not.
100% he has.
But again,
do you think 2 years ago, how many quarterbacks would have won a Super Bowl with that Eagles team? With Saquon. I'm asking you, how many quarterbacks would have?
I don't know, but my
10?
point is it's irrelevant. These are lame hypotheticals.
No, but this isn't the thing though, because like
you discussing this achieves nothing. It proves nothing.
No, but this is the discussion with Hurts.
But it's not a discussion. It's not a real
It is.
discussion.
It actually is because you're saying
it's a discussion for clicks, mate. It means nothing.
No, it's not. It is a genuine, proper discussion.
By who? By talking heads on TV who?
Because like your points there are Philadelphia points where Hurts is with Saquon, who had one of the best running back years that we've ever seen, and one of the best defenses recently.
Scott, I'm not here to try and because I know that I can't. I'm not here to convince you that Hurts is a good quarterback and that he's like. I'm not here to do that. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is all things that I've read out are facts. These are facts that go on.
Yes, Hurts has been placed on a very good team.
On Jalen, they are on Jalen Hurts' resume forever. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. Unfortunately, you just have to swallow it.
So we can't put the facts on that Hurts was the quarterback of an abhorrent offense last year, and they lost a playoff game, and then 2 years ago when the Bucks railed them because he was not up to the scratch.
Correct. And as I said, he's the first one to front the media and say I wasn't good enough.
But that's not the argument. The argument is that.
So what's the argument then?
The argument is that Hurts is carried by an elite team,
well, I don't agree with that.
No, but when the success comes, it's due to a lot of it more than him. The main puller of that success is a great OC or a great team around him.
Yeah, but you could say that about every team that is successful.
Yeah, but
Like,
we're not saying
they're-
that to
they're-
every team that
You have said that if Josh Allen wasn't on the Bills, they're the Jets. And the Bills have been a contender
all right,
every single
okay, and that's fine. And I have said that, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
But you're talking about Josh Allen, who's like we're talking about him as he's a one of one dude.
I'm saying that. That's what
You're
we're
not-
saying.
That's not a fair comparison to
We're
compare.
saying that the media propelled Jalen Hurts
Well, that's-
into that one-of-one
but that-
conversation, and he's
That's
not that.
That's not Jalen Hurts' fault.
No one's saying it's Jalen Hurts. What would the Jalen Hurts fault?
He's never said anything.
But the Jalen Hurts part of this is that if this stuff is
He's busy
true
writing,
about
he's
him,
busy writing children's
like
books, bro.
what was the big thing that Petula got railed for last year? What was the big play last year?
I don't know. You tell me. You've got something in your head.
The 4 verts.
Oh yeah, on the last play of the
Apparently, that was Hurts that changed.
All right, fine. Apparently, I don't know if that's true or not. Nobody knows if that's true.
But that's the discussion we're having, because this is now coming out, and it's coming out from some pretty more in-know people than a lot of people in the world, including mainstream media as well.
I don't buy into whispers and anonymous sources and this and that. I buy into what I see on the field. And what I see is when he has a competent play caller, a competent offensive coordinator, he plays well. He plays well within the system, because I understand Hurst is you said it correct. He's a QB that he has a very specific skill set.
Yeah.
What he's good at, he's very good at, and what he's not good at, he's not good at. And that's okay. I'm not here saying that he's the best quarterback in the NFL. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that when he has a scheme and a coordinator that can accentuate his skills, he is a very good player, and he's proven it on the field. Like, you don't finish second in the MVP if you're shit, which is what Scott's saying.
But no. What we're saying
put words
is,
in my mouth about what I said about Jalen Hurts.
You have said a million times on here that he's shit, that he can't throw the ball, that he can't do this.
That's exactly what I said. He can't throw the ball.
Well,
do you know what he did?
You don't finish second in the MVP if you can't.
Hang on. Do you want to look at his stats when he finished second in the MVP? He had like 800 yards rushing and 14 touchdowns from the tush push.
Scott,
that has nothing to do with me saying.
No one cares about stats except you.
I care about stats.
What do you mean? Hang on. What do you mean that no one cares about stats? You're saying, he finished second in the MVP, which is a fucking stat race.
No,
that's all it is.
It's not a stat race.
It is 100% a stat race. What do you mean it's not a stat race?
The MVP is not a stat race. The
it
MVP is a narrative award and always has been.
Okay, you can have the best narrative.
Narrative is formed by winning, mate.
But you can have the best narrative. If you throw for fucking 1,500 yards, you're not a fucking MVP.
I could argue that the year Hurts was second in the MVP, Eagles were coming off being a bad team, and they were that
narrative-driven team.
They were propelling. So the narrative was, well, he's the quarterback of the team that's excelling, like Jaden Daniels, like Drake May last year. They're all the same. So it's the same boat.
I don't understand your point. What's your point?
The point is that if this stuff's real, we're going to find out. And I think that my personal opinion on this is that Jalen Hurts scapegoats a lot of criticism because he says all the right things, right? He does all the right things when the cameras are on him. This story is about that he doesn't really do the right things when the camera's off him.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. That is what the story is.
And then when there's smoke, there's fire, right? If this could come out about Lamar Jackson, we would all be like, oh God, this is like, if this was coming about Dak Prescott, I'd be sitting here going, well, there might be something to this, right? Because this stuff doesn't get reported just for the sake of being reported. And
I push back on that too. I actually do think that a lot of it is just getting reported for the sake of being reported.
It doesn't last this long. Normally it could last a couple of days. This has been going on for a month.
So there's a couple of factors to that too, and I thought about that as well. A couple of factors is the off season. There's not a huge amount going on.
That's fair.
Right? And also you got to remember that it's the Eagles.
Everyone loves to hate.
Everyone loves to hate.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, for better or for worse, in the social media era, there's a pile-on effect, man. Everyone just piles on. But
this seems like it's
Hurts
different.
is the kind of guy. Well, and that's fine too. And that's your opinion. You're allowed to have it.
And we'll know at some point.
Hurts is the kind of guy that you said people love to hate him, and it's unfortunate.
I think people think he's a phony, and I think this is the story. People who have thought he's a phony, which I'm one of those people. I don't think he is the character that he acts like. I think it's a bit of an act for him.
Okay.
He's a bit corny. It's a bit of an. I'm sure he's a decent guy. Like I'm not saying like personally he's a piece of shit or anything, but the guys and Russell Wilson's a prime example. he was like this, was the nice guy that always said the right things, and then behind
almost
closed doors,
too goody two shoes, like too high up.
Whenever someone's that like that, it's normally a bit of an act, right? And I think this is now this is music to the ears of people that thought he was a bit phony.
Every single teammate that's ever played with him, not named AJ Brown, loves him and speaks nothing but his praise.
That's not necessarily
That's
true.
That's not true. There's been plenty of people that don't.
Yeah,
there's plenty. This what's all coming out now.
Yeah,
players are coming out and saying that.
Well,
he wasn't that good a dude, and it happened with Russell Wilson too.
And unless people are prepared to put their name to it, I take very little stock in it.
And that's fair enough too. And it'll all come out in the wash. Personally, if he goes and has a great year, this will be forgotten. Before
Scott gives his analysis, I'll just give my little 2 cents. Personally, I'm very excited about the new scheme. It's going to be obviously a hybrid Shanahan style offense. I think it'll be good for Hurts because when he's playing in that scheme where he can play under center, can do the play action, can become a running threat himself, as we discussed off air a couple of weeks ago. When he becomes a running threat, like he's a very, very, very high level quarterback, man. Like when he can,
of course, he puts the defense. The hardest thing
to put the defense in conflict. Like
the one person this is coming from a defender, that the one person you can't account for in your game plan is a running quarterback. It's the 12th player on the field.
Yeah,
100%. You can't. You actually can't. You have to drop a spy. You have to game plan for it.
You've got to give something up. To do
exactly.
It.
That's exactly what I'm getting to.
Right, Scott.
And so then when you give something up, you're opening up holes for the quarterback to pick you apart. And that's what Hurts can do.
And that's what he did in his MVP year. That's what I'm saying.
And
he's capable of doing that. We've seen him do it.
I'm not saying that he's not capable of doing that. I say that he, for one, hates playing to his back to the defense. He refuses to do it. And as a running quarterback, that is essential.
I agree it is essential. I don't know that he hates to do it. I think
he never does it. And now we're seeing the change of game plans and all of that.
I just think that he's gotten comfortable in the shot, a little bit too comfortable in the shot.
And he's not good enough to play shotgun as a quarterback.
Well, I agree. He's not. And that's not his game, and nor should it be his game.
But the reports are that he refuses to go under.
Well, that's the report.
The reports. And this is all all hearsay at this point. I agree.
The only other thing with Hurts is like you said, he's not the best at throwing the ball. He misses very easy throws, and it's very frustrating for
and he doesn't throw over the middle.
And for everyone to put him up to this and say, "Oh, he's top 10, he's top 5." And it's
that's the media doing that. That's not Hurts doing that. He's not doing that.
Okay, but no player. Okay, well, I shouldn't say no player. There's very few players that will turn around and say, "Oh, I am this person, and I am a top 5 or I am a top 10." It's very rare that a player will come out and say that. It's usually the media following the fan base and all of that.
Yeah.
And that's what is annoying, that not like a personal jab to you, but like what people say is like, "Oh, he's a Super Bowl MVP. Oh, he finished second at MVP. Oh, he's got all these, all these stats." And it's like, cool. Holistically, all that looks good because he is an adequate quarterback on a very good team that's had a very that's played at a high level for a long time, which a lot of teams don't do. Yeah. But you can drop and drag 15 to 20 quarterbacks and get that type of production out.
I'm not playing the hypothetical games.
It's not a hypothetical. It's just that if you take his skill set and what he can do and what other quarterbacks, if you're grading him 1-to-1, if you grade him with Purdy with AJ Brown, a good running game, Devontae Smith, he would look light years better because he throws the ball.
I don't know how that's relevant though. I don't get how that's relevant.
That's the whole argument.
Whose argument? It's not Jalen Hurts' argument. It's
no one's saying that's Jalen argument.
Jalen Hurts hasn't come out and said that he's a top 5 quarterback.
I know he's cutouts in the room, but he's not here with us arguing. Like this is it's just the conversation
now.
The
issue is with Jalen Hurts that everyone's saying that he's this, and they want to put him up.
Whose issue is it though?
What do you mean? It's objectively,
it's a team issue because last year his play was a big reason why the team, they are almost selling out a window. They could have easily gone back to back last year with that defense and that group.
Oh, I mean, it's very difficult to go back to back in the NFL.
I understand that.
Easily is a very strong word, but I don't think easily.
They're a very, very good team.
Yeah, they're a very good team on paper, on talent. I'll put us up against any other team.
I'll ask one question, then we'll go on to the rest of this stuff because we can't go on this forever. If you can agree that the microscope is now on Jalen Hurts, and if the offense flutters again this year, it's not going to be a Mannion problem.
It won't be, and I'll tell you why, because there's no other dominoes left to fall.
Yeah, correct.
Yes, I agree. And as I said in my little blurb there, he's the first one to come out and say, and he said it at the end of the season, I didn't play well enough. Like we lost this playoff game. I didn't play well enough. Yeah, and holistically, the whole offense played terribly last
year. But do you think he believes that, or do you think he just says it? Because that's what this whole report's about. That he says things that he doesn't exactly mean.
Okay, and that's fine, but you have to, unless you want to be a complete cynic, you have to take what people say on Facebook.
Yeah, maybe the first time and the second time and the third time, but now we're getting a recurring thing.
What recurring thing?
Like you can say he's.
What do you mean? Like the 2012, the 2013 drop off. Sorry, the 2023 drop off.
Like
you lost 8 games in a row, and your offense just plummeted.
Yeah, we did.
Like you can say that he was really good,
and then Brian Johnson got fired.
But like this is the frustrating thing, and it's not with you. It's just with the discussion with Hurts. There's always a fucking excuse for him.
What do you mean? There's always an excuse.
The OC was shit.
Your excuse was the OC.
The OC was shit.
Maybe the OC's got fired because he couldn't do what they asked him to do.
Like, okay,
that other quarterbacks could easily do.
He won a Super Bowl ring.
We had the best. None of them have a job in the NFL anymore.
It's probably both. Because
Brian Johnson doesn't have a job in the NFL anymore.
Yeah, that's
we don't know. Can we Google it?
Yeah, you can't go for it. Google it right now.
I've got all my draft stuff up.
Unemployed.
And
I'll tell you right now, Patula's gone to Miami, which is basically
was it Alabama first?
Yeah.
Like Alabama replaced him. Like he had a different OC because he went to a different college.
Who?
He came from Oklahoma.
So he got replaced.
Yeah.
So say a different OC. He's been replaced a couple of times too, and he's probably cost some OCs some jobs too. Like there's both sides of the story.
To finish my point is it's like there's always there's the people that say, oh, it's just a positive, it's just a positives. And it's like, but like he only plays well when he's got the best running game, the best O-line, and the best defense. Because when it relies on him, the team plummets. And that's where I come in. It's like you can't put him up here without question, saying he's an MVP, he's a Super Bowl MVP, he's the tide that raises all boats, he's the greatest quarterback, he's a top 5, top 7, whatever people want to say. But when the Philly offense is down here and it is up and down like that,
well, you're based off with Hurts then, because he takes accountability when he plays.
It's not him taking accountability.
Yes, it is.
He's taking accountability isn't the problem. It's his play that's the problem.
Exactly.
I don't care about his fucking accountability. As you said, the only thing that matters is like the wins and losses. When the team isn't elite around him, he struggles. When the team's elite around him, he's terrific.
How can he? When the team's not elite, he struggles. He's 170%.
You just use the fact that he got 2 offensive coordinators head coaching jobs
as a positive.
That's the exact same thing. Maybe they made him good, and that's why they got head coaching jobs.
It's very likely, mate. At the end of the day, the football. Last time I checked, is a very collaborative thing.
Yeah, I know. It's just.
I don't know that you can say that he struggles. He's won 70% of his games, mate. Like that,
but that's my point. That like he's won 70% of his games because he's had an elite defense for 5 years. His gameplay himself isn't the singular part of him winning 70% of those.
Scott, games. if you're waiting for me to turn around and say to you, Hurts is shit, I agree with you.
So no, I'm not saying Hurts is shit. I'm just saying that
personally, I think that this new scheme and this new offense is going to be a really good challenge for him, and I'm fully expecting him to rise and meet the challenge and play really well this year. I think he's gonna shut a lot of critics up this year. I think now that the focus, because what you said is correct, the focus,
there's no excuses now,
is 100% glaringly on. It's like the eye of Sauron is on him right now.
I'll tell you what, if one of two things are going to happen, it's going to be it's going to be the extremes. Philly are going back to the Super Bowl, or they're looking for a quarterback, and it's not going to be somewhere in between anymore.
I 100% agree with that, and I think that if he leans back into what he's really good at, which is running the ball and moving the pocket, he's going to be really, really good.
All right, cool. All right, rest of the Eagles, let's move.
All right. Truth be told, I didn't have enough time today to go through all the ins and outs of free agency and all of that. So
that's fine.
What I have,
well, they've almost bought back most of their team anyway.
Yeah, they lost Blankenship, and that's the only one that I remember.
And linebacker, what can be his name?
Nakobe
Dean's a big out. Yeah, but they've got
Nakobe Dean's a massive loss, and Jakard Campbell's going to have to step up.
I think he'll step up.
Well. I think he will too, but he's going to have to because
how he planned for that last year.
He did 110%
because he knew that Dean's injury prone, which he is unfortunately. But when he's healthy, he's a fucking hell of a player.
Yeah.
So in anticipation of AJ Brown being moved at some stage in the offseason, I have Philly going.
You think he's going to get traded?
I believe it is. The way, and this was before this reporting came out, but I think the way that the locker room's looking and the you can't have your head coach and your star player butting heads, and you can't have your head coach, your quarterback and your star player butting heads. And inevitably, it's a lot easier to move a receiver than it is a head coach and a quarterback.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
and I think
Terrell Owens.
And
it's not as bad as that. Don't get me wrong.
And this isn't. I think AJ Brown hasn't, like, for what he can say and do, I think he's been relatively well, like, kept in check.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think like early days, he's a bit of a bonehead, and he said and did some silly things. I think he's kept himself well in check, and I think this has been going on a lot longer. And he's gone to Howie. Hey, I'm not loving my time here. I don't want to be here. There's too many issues here that I don't like. Just move me.
And his value is never going to be higher than now.
And I think that maybe that Howie's gone, no, we need you on this team and we'll work it out. And I think it's just come to a part where it can't go any further.
Okay.
Yeah, I know this is going to shock you guys. I'm very 50-50 on it. I actually do not know what's going to happen.
I think it's about 60-40. I think 60-40 that he gets traded.
Yeah.
About a 40%.
And we'll know. June 1 we'll know. It'll happen.
Oh, June 1 we'll know. It'll happen almost immediately after.
If it's a first round pick, like, it could happen before the draft too. Like,
potentially?
Yeah, because it could very much happen.
I don't know where he goes, but I just think that when we talk about smoke, fire, and all this sort of stuff, I feel like there's not enough water that can go under this.
It also feels like it's the right move for the Eagles now.
It does
to move him on at this point.
Yeah.
But value is high. You're probably going to get a first round pick for him. Just bite the bullet, move him on.
I've got in anticipation of this, I have Philly going after a wide receiver from Texas A&M, KC Concepcion. Not only does he have the best name,
Major League name.
Oh, he's got to have a Hall of Fame name. He has to have a Hall of Fame name. I want to give him a shout out before I get into. I want to give the human a shout out before I give the player a shout out. He's had a speech impediment. And he's struggled really badly with stuttering, and to his detriment. Like, he had a lot of issues with it.
Shit.
And he didn't want to talk to the media, and he actually nutted up and spoke to the media through the draft. Said he's got a speech impediment, struggles with it. I'm not having a joke. He stuttered through that, and he wanted to get that awareness out for everyone else. He's also, I think he won like the Heisman equivalent for academics. So he's quite smart. So I wanted to give the human a shout out. He's doing a really good thing for a lot of people that struggle with that sort of stuff.
Amen.
And it gets swept under the rug, and probably people look at him a little bit funny and don't have time and patience for someone that would have a speech impediment. So he used his platform in a positive way, because we shit on pieces of shit pretty harshly.
Mm-hmm.
And when there's good humans, the greater media doesn't do enough for him. So I wanted to give him a shout out.
That I agree with.
And then secondly, he's just, I think he's just an absolute stud receiver. You can line him up everywhere. He's a fantastic route runner. He's a very good vertical threat. He's an AJ Brown replacement. He's like a thicker sort of body. Very, like, his hands are a little bit iffy every now and then. It's not that he has drops or anything, but it's just the only knock on him is his hands. Cool. But everything else, like, you can play him slot, you can play him X, you can play him in the screen game. He's a good yak. He's a good vertical threat. He's just a very, like, all-round, very good receiver. And I think that what Philly will move into, like you said, someone that will do a little bit of everything. Howie should be chopping at the bit to lock this guy up for 5 years.
Yeah, well said. I 100% think that they'll be drafting a receiver in the first round. And probably the only other glaring thing that they'd be looking to draft probably in the second round is, I think, safety as well.
Potentially safety. Yeah. There's a few hybrid guys. Safeties drop off, and O-line. I thought that they'll probably go O-line.
Yeah. Okay.
But the O-line, if you're picking at the end of the first, it's just not the guys there.
Yeah.
It drops off. There's probably 7 to 8 really elite guys, and then you could probably come back and pick up the rest in the second and third round. And safety is very similar. Safeties, it's very top heavy, or a dart throw at the bottom, or you convert one of the hybrid guys, which you could probably do in the second round. So I think you just keep the offense humming.
Yeah.
You get AJ Brown's replacement. Howie's been looking for a third receiver for 7 years now.
He's been trying to do like Dotson and all these different
guys. He's tried everyone. If you're Howie, nut up, get a guy that can do everything, make him your number 2, potentially number 1 with Devontae, and I
definitely agree, because I think defensively we're pretty healthy. We obviously got Reek Woolen over for that on that 1 year contract, which I think is going to really shore up
Oh, for sure.
Because that was a glaring weakness. The second corner was a glaring weakness on the
100%.
defense. Personally, I think it's the only weakness on the whole team, like holistically.
Safety as well.
Yeah, safety as well. That's why. Yeah, I think they'll be looking to draft one. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Maybe we can use that second first round pick on a safety. Who knows? Anyway, but I think overall, like if you look at it, I think Philly's roster is pretty healthy. Everyone's under contract. I think the main thing coming into this season is everyone's just got to get their bodies right, especially on the O-line. A lot of guys were banged up. I think that really, you know yourself, you guys have played as well. Like if the O-line's banged up and they're struggling, it's really hard to have an effective offense when the O-line is struggling.
Especially if Hurts is your quarterback.
So I think
low-hanging fruit, just right there.
I think that, if you can, and most good teams.
Of course. Yeah, O-line's a heartbeat of the team.
O-lines, if your team is playing well, 99 out of 100, your O-line is performing at a really high level.
Yep.
So I think in the offseason, that's like Dickerson was banged up basically all year. Jurgens was banged up all year.
Lane Johnson's old now.
Lane Johnson is 87 years old.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of miles on those legs.
Yep.
I'm especially with Mannion's system, and all the reports from all the players, Lane Johnson's really excited. Mailata's like
he dropped off a fucking cliff. You need him to come back.
Mailata was giddy when he heard when he was discussing the new scheme. Barkley thinks he's. I'm hoping for a career year from Barkley. We really need it, especially after giving all that money.
How could he have another? How could he beat his other career year?
Yeah.
I'll tell you how, because he's really fucking good.
He is very good.
He is. But
fuck the Giants.
I think a lot of people. I don't know about hoping for the demise of Philly. That's probably a bit strong.
Yeah, I would say I would be as well.
Yeah, but
you can call me what you want.
That's fine.
If they fail, it's fun.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be
Personally?
be locking that
I'm
in.
a Cowboys fan. I fucking hate them.
Exactly.
Much like when the Cowboys suck, Eagles fans should relish in that.
Yeah.
I
They
wouldn't
should
be.
love it.
I wouldn't be buying stocks in that just yet. I think Philly's here.
Oh,
here for a little while longer.
For what it's worth, I think so too. I think they're going to be a big player.
This is a very crucial year in this window.
Yeah, I think so.
Refreshing the scheme, new message. I think, and Hurts will have to nutter. I agree.
Cool. All right, let's go to the New Orleans Saints. My baby I got for this week. Interesting team, the Saints. They're in a real good but rough window as well. Got the 8th pick in the draft. I think they had a bit of an underwhelming offseason. I know they still have some cap issues, which I fully understand.
Yeah, the last year of
caps, they're still in a bit of a hole there, so I give them a bit of a leeway for that.
It was unfortunate because they let a lot of talent walk out that I thought there was
But they bring in Caden Ellis, who I think is an underrated linebacker. I don't think he's a Pro Bowl caliber guy, but I think he'll be a solid player. But then Demario Davis, who's 38 now, it was time to move on. But he's been an all-pro player for them for the last few years, and that's going to be a big hole to fill that I don't think Caden Ellis can fill. So I think they got worse there.
Yep.
The ETN move,
Etienne.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, he came out in the media and said that everyone.
I'm saying Etienne, get lost.
No, I love pronouncing a name. Etienne.
English is my second
language.
language.
But it's more of an A, I think.
No, English is a third language. Greek, love English.
What the hell? Where's Persian?
That's 7.
What about Macedonian?
I do speak 12. I'm very fluent in the language of love, ladies.
That's what I know. It could even be number 1. I haven't heard you talk Greek much, but I've heard you talk a lot of love.
After midnight, number 1.
Oh, Jesus.
There it is. Yeah, so the ETN move, obviously, it's the Kamara replacement. They're saying they're going to keep them both. That's fucking ludicrous. I think Kamara will be cut or traded for very minimal amount, like a 7th round pick for a team that wants him just to come and pinch hit for him.
Yep.
I'm assuming he's going to get cut or not be on the team.
Well, it depends on the dead money because he's got 10 mil on the books, I believe, this year.
I think most of his guarantees are out. So I think they can do it if they want to, but they could also keep him if they want to as well. But it feels like Etienne feels like a bit of a sideways. He's younger, I agree, but he's just a bit of a sideways movement. It doesn't feel like a massive improvement for what they've had from Kamara.
No, yeah, definitely. Just got younger.
So my thing, all eyes are on Shook.
My man.
He was very good at times last year. He had some really good moments. I think if we say he's definitely a franchise quarterback, I think you're being a bit delusional.
Probably overstepping a little bit.
Yeah, I think he could be. I think he's proved some people that from the draft stuff where they showed that horrible throw 5,000 times to shit on the guy, which was very unfair because he probably threw 50 balls that were perfect.
That's
as well.
the fucking media, mate.
That's
All
the
I want to do
media.
is focus on negative shit.
So I think that shitting on him for that, he took the job from Rattler, which is not an easy feat in the terms of the NFL, but he took it, and then he didn't just take it, he took it and ran with it and played very well. So I think adding David Andrew from the Patriots, he's a really good veteran guard. Keep in mind, they have 3 first-round picks on their offensive line.
Yeah, Steve
Yeah.
Ruiz.
They've got Ruiz at right guard.
Yep.
They've got Calvin Banks Jr. at left tackle.
Yeah, they got him last year.
And they've got Talesi Fuaga at right tackle, who was a high pick as well.
Yeah.
And then Eric McCoy, their center, who's probably their best offensive lineman, who was a second-round pick. This is a studded offensive line.
Yep.
This is one of the on paper. This is one of the best offensive lines in football.
They've really invested a lot of draft capital, which is the right way to do it.
Correct. As we always say, build from the inside out. They're following. That's why I kind of respect the Saints. They're following it the right way, I think. So they've given Shock every chance for success with that. Olavi found his form last year. He was a second-team All-Pro guy. Very good player. If he stays healthy, he's a very good receiver. I liked adding Noah Fan as a second tight end behind Juwan Johnson, who was a very good tight end.
I've always liked Noah Fan.
He stretches the field over the middle, and he'll do whatever you ask. And he doesn't get sooky. He doesn't get the ball. He'll just play football, right?
Super athletic. I hope it works out for him.
Yeah, as a second tight end, because Juwan Johnson was very good last year.
He's a bit older though, so I think there might be like a changing of the guard, like Kamara and Etienne.
Similar. So it's like I think they're going in the right way. As for the draft, I think the Saints hope that like Carnell Tate, the wide receivers, there at 8. I don't know if he will be. I'd be shocked if he was, and I think if he was, they
2 OSU boys just reuniting.
I definitely want to get a good stud receiver.
Yeah, I think if he's there to pair with Olave, with Shock on the O line, with Etienne, it's a good move, right? But I don't think he'll be there, and I don't think that Mekhi Lennon, and Jordan Tyson are worth a top 10 pick. I just don't think it's a good.
Couldn't agree more.
So
Lennon's getting some traction, but if I was the Saints, I definitely wouldn't be sniffing around that.
No, I think that at pick 8, you just if you pick 15, take a chance. I'm fine with it.
Yep.
It's a bit high. So I think that they'll go defensive because they need some defensive help. They lost the Taylor, the cornerback, who was very good for them last year. So Caleb Downs should be there at 8. I think that'd be a good pick for him. Mansour Delane, who's a very well-touted cornerback, and also Kendrick Falk, who's a defensive end, is an edge rusher, which again might be a bit of a reach there.
I think that's a bit of a reach there, yeah.
A bit of a reach there, but I think that's what they'll probably do. They also lost Cam
Johnson's a free agent.
Cam Jordan.
He
wants to play again. It wouldn't shock me if he's back on the Saints at a vet.
He's definitely going back.
I think if he plays, he'll be on, but he's got his podcast now. His next life sort of started, so I think it'll be a early preseason sort of, hey, come back and play some ball.
Yeah.
Right. So they're in a good spot because they don't, when you have a quarterback, when you have a plan at quarterback, whether Shock ends up being the guy or not, I'm leaning more towards that he will be. That's because I think he played well enough to give him that opportunity.
He definitely showed enough to be given an opportunity.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that.
They're in a good spot in the top 10 where they don't need to reach for a quarterback. They don't need to reach for it. They don't need to get an offensive lineman. So they're going to get a really good defensive player, get to them at 8. Or if they want, trade back to someone who wants to get up for a Caleb, or maybe a Cowboys want to get up for a Caleb Downs, maybe Sonny Styles, unlikely. Maybe he falls there and they take him. They've got some options there. So they can really do a lot and they can propel themselves. Cap builds up next year. They have a good year next year. The South is not a great division.
No.
There's no reason why everything goes well. They can't be competing for that. And
personally, I think I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think they're competing for the South this year.
I think they are too.
Yeah,
if Shock progresses again and plays really well, it's very realistic chance it could
because
be
that
theirs.
O-line gets going and that run game gets going with Etienne and even Shock, if he plays to the same level that he played at the end of last year, that's good enough.
Yeah, and Callum Moore's a great OC.
Yeah.
So he will put guys in good positions. So
And a good head coach.
And a good head coach. I've had to swallow some vinegar because I'm a bit bitter on him from the Cowboys days, but he's done Eagles and then a head coach his first year. You couldn't have asked for much
The
more.
shit show that he walked into and the buy-in he got from the players and the way that they played for him towards the end of the year when they were playing for nothing just to ruin other teams' seasons, which they did.
Yeah, they did actually.
I think that's a shout out to the coach. That's very strong character from your coach because it's very easy. We've seen Callahan get fired 4 games into the season. God knows how Aaron Glenn has survived this long. Like, you know what I mean? There's the contrast on the other side is pretty bleak. So
credit when credit's due for Callum Moore.
Yep.
Well done. So hey, if you're a Saints fan, you should be pretty optimistic. I think there's a real opportunity that you could be that Cinderella team this year and win a division and play playoffs.
There's always that one team It was the Patriots this year. There's always that one team that goes from 3 or 4 wins that jumps up, that like doubles their wins or tries to get to 10 wins.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised.
Everything's trending in the direction for them to be that.
I won't be, because the division's very weak, as we know. I think they're in it up to their eyeballs.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yep.
And I'll be really happy for them too.
Yeah,
to
that
get stuck out of the mire.
it'll be a pretty quick turnaround for him, in fairness.
Oh,
Teams go 20 years
time
being
they've done
shit.
it. Yeah.
They're good on them.
And I think, like you said, if you highlighted Caleb Downs and you get that hybrid X guy that can line up anywhere on the field, if you get that playmaker first and you can next year in the draft get your meat and potatoes, get a couple of D linemen.
And your cap opens up, then you can go and be a player in free agency.
Yeah. If once you get that X factor and the way that the defense is turning currently with like these nickel dime packages, if you get that guy that lines up in that spot that creates chaos, now that is a home run. That is a home run.
I really do think he'll be there at pick 8. I think he will be.
Potentially.
Yeah, there's a very realistic chance.
He's a stud.
He's definitely at the top of their board for sure.
Yeah. I would say Sonny Styles is, but there's no chance he gets there.
Oh, I wouldn't say no chance.
Maybe.
I would say that there's a very good chance one of these two players are there.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right, Georgie boy, you've got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hit us with some facts, boy.
You know, when I was looking at the Jags, they had a really great year last year. Obviously, Lawrence had a career resurgent year with new coach. His name's Soup Boy.
Liam Cohen.
Yeah. Big unit.
He was with that press conference. He'll never live that down. By the way,
why would a guy that is built so well wear the suit like that? Like wear the tightest suit you can possibly wear.
It was clearly his dad's suit.
The dude's huge.
Yeah.
Sala would never wear that suit.
Sala wears a schmedium polo.
No. I reckon Liam Cohen's one of the boys, and I reckon he's lost a bet and he's had to wear that suit.
I hope that comes out. I hope he wins a Super Bowl one day and he's like, someone bet me to wear that.
Honestly, if that comes out, I'll respect it.
Hilarious.
I'll respect it because you got to do it. If you made the bet, you got to go through with it. So fantastic year, new head coach, everything's trending in the right direction. Last season, obviously won the division. The problem is this offseason, they've lost a lot of really good players, but I really think they've actually gotten a lot worse this offseason.
On paper, they have, yeah.
And I'm worried that as a result, there's going to be that real regression.
They also don't have their first round pick.
That's what I was going to get to.
They traded it for Hunter.
Just some notable.
Oh my God. Yeah,
they did. So I'm getting to it.
In fairness, they'll get Hunter back, which could work out really well.
Yeah.
I'm more skeptical. I think we're all skeptical.
I'm not buying.
Hang on, guys. Take a picture. This is rare.
I'm not buying any stock on Travis Hunter just yet.
No.
So they lost Travis Etienne to the Saints, obviously. They lost Devin Lloyd. I don't know
the Panthers.
How they let Devin Lloyd leave.
It wasn't even that much money. Just pay him. Do you think he just didn't want to be there?
I can't have been a contract thing. Can't have been a money thing. I think he just wanted to leave. Sorry, I got to get a drink.
You're good. Yeah, I think it was bizarre. I was certain they would be like, we're not letting this guy out the door.
I think that he made that decision at the start of the year.
All pro linebacker leaving is crazy.
Should have been first team. It was a travesty he wasn't. I know he was second.
They lost one of their corners, Greg Newsom, who's a solid corner.
Yeah, he gets burnt a lot.
Anyway, so
but he's a starting corner on almost any team.
So
which they're hard to find.
Giants. So they've lost 3 or 4 really, really high quality pieces, and they, like Scotty said, they don't have a first round pick. So I don't know what the hell they're going to do.
I actually forgot they traded for Hunter last year.
Yeah.
So I'm really concerned that they're going to really regress back to the mean, losing 3 or 4 key pieces. Obviously, I think they're with their second, third, fourth, fifth picks, they're going to try and shore up that defense.
And in fairness to them, like Josh Hines Allen is an elite defensive end. And
Walker re-signed.
Walker, that is a steal from the Jaguars.
Yeah, it's a great contract.
He is. People that call him a bust have clearly never watched a football game.
Pretty maligned because he went number 1. I think that's kind of why.
But he went number 1 because it was the best pick for the Jags at that point. Because they didn't need a quarterback. They didn't need like that. It was just the best move. And he's a great player.
He was one of the best DNs in the draft. Just draft him.
He's probably, in terms of defensive ends, one like top 5 run defending defensive ends. People should he doesn't get 20 sacks a year.
Problem is it's not flashy pick.
There's like 5 guys that get over 15 sacks a year.
You asked me.
Hey, but you know what? We know ball here, man, so it's okay. We know ball.
Now no one wants the second language love.
I tell you what, there's not a DC in any level of football that their first part of their philosophy is to stop the fucking run.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're not like, hey, we need some good DNs that can only rush the pass.
Hey, do you know what we need? We need them to pass the ball 400 times on us for us to win. What the fucking...
Every DC is like,
Exactly.
what's your first plan? Well, we stop the run and then we work off that.
Yeah.
Then we see where we go.
Yeah.
The only positive for the Jags, obviously, I think, with their picks, they're going to try and shore up the defense. The tackle get an edge in, but probably another corner. I think there's more than enough talent on offense in order to score and move
Brian
the chains
Thomas
and whatever.
Jr. is concerning.
I was going to touch on this.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
play definitely wasn't great last year, and I actually thought that Cohen would be able to get the best out of him.
It could just be a learning thing. Could just take
Potentially.
some time.
Potentially.
He was not great, but he was better as the year went on.
What?
And he was injured. He was dinged up a bit.
Apparently, so I did a little bit of a deep dive randomly. Don't ask me why, but I did a little bit of deep dive in this, and it was Cohen didn't. What it appeared to be like Cohen didn't know where to put him, so he was playing in too many positions,
Yeah.
almost like a gadgety kind of guy. And it was like, well, he's learning a whole new offense and this and that, and we've got Hunter sort of doing the same thing. He's a bit of a gadgety guy. Lawrence is sort of learning where he wants guys to go and all of that. And then they just sat him in the one position like, oh, you're really good at this. We'll get you to do this.
Yeah.
And it eased up. So
Got better.
I'm thinking we're going to get a bit of a rebound here. And if I'm the Jags, it's ludicrous to trade him for anything right now.
No. You 100% keep
They
him.
won't. If they haven't traded him now, they won't trade him.
And I'd go 2 steps further.
Unless you get like a top 10 pick for him, then swing away.
Yeah,
Like,
okay, fine.
but you're probably trading him then to draft another receiver.
No, but like what the issue is, it's like, oh, well, it's not working out for him. Let's get him pennies on the dollar. There's no way. If the Jags take themselves seriously, there's no way they can go down that avenue.
No,
I 100% agree. And like I said, going 2 steps further, they've got to cut this Travis Hunter experiment on offense. Just
defense.
play him as fucking corner, and that's
I think they've come out and
well,
said
good. Thank God, because that was never ever going to work in the NFL.
You can pinch hit him a little bit at wide receiver when you're not,
Sure,
but he needs to be.
fine.
You're a defensive player, and we'll let you know we want you to come on.
All right, he
and
can
have a
play
go.
10 snaps a game on offense. Fine, I don't care. Whatever. But the only positive out of all this is that they're really well positioned still to win the division because it's pretty poor. The Colts don't have a quarterback, so who knows what they're going to be like. Well, they don't, because Daniel Jones is not. He's not
nothing. You just banging down the door for him to be an MVP, and now
Who,
he's just
who, Daniel Jones.
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
You were.
I never said he should be the MVP. When did I say that?
Did.
Tommy, find it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Keep going.
Well, my point is,
Week 8 last year, I reckon we could narrow it down perfectly.
I'm gonna need a minute.
oh, you mean when they were 8 and zip and they were the best offense in the league?
Just move on. Just
Anyway, the point I'm making is the rest of the teams in the division are struggling.
Lawrence is by far the best quarterback in the
Yeah,
division.
it's not even a discussion. And if
Cam Ward second.
Yep.
probably
Yes. No, comfortably.
probably.
Yeah.
So the Titans.
That wasn't a jab or anything. That was genuine. I
Titans have a new
think he's
coach.
going to be good.
Which I think, obviously they got Sala as a coach. So I think overall the team's going to be better than they were last year. But I think they're at least a couple of seasons
I'd be
away
shocked
from
if the
competing.
Titans pull a Patriot. It would be Cam Ward being elite.
I don't see it.
They just don't have.
They don't have enough
The Panthers, the Patriots did a very good job that offseason in bolstering their roster, and the
Not
Titans.
as good a job as Vrabel's been doing this offseason.
We didn't even speak on that. We'll leave it. We'll save it. We'll save it.
I don't like to get involved in the personal relationships
No, I
with NFL
want to get
coaches.
involved.
But I want to wait till next week. We'll talk about
I
it.
want to be knuckle deep.
You weren't the only one.
Again,
Yeah,
second language. Love.
Yeah. Is that love?
So the
Seems forceful.
Colts are starting quarterbacks blowing his Achilles. Cam Ward's still like learning. And I think that personally, I think that Houston again are going to be relying really heavily on their defense because they looks like they're going to have to give Stroud $50 million a year, and he's no good.
And it's as you said earlier, it's hard to win a Super Bowl with a mediocre quarterback and elite defense.
I didn't say that.
No. Oh, you didn't? Oh, my bad.
No.
My bad.
No, so they're still well positioned to win the division purely based on the division.
No, I think that's all fair points. It's an interesting year for the Jaguars.
Yeah, very interesting.
We're going to find out if Cohen's moving on from each end.
Yeah.
There's a few
Agreed.
things going on.
Yep.
All right, Scotty, Kansas City Chiefs. What do you got?
All right.
Let's get the fucking glazing.
I thought we'd be talking about these guys week one because they'd be like top of the board, but they're actually one of the bottom teams this week.
Good.
What do they pick 9 in the draft? I think they are.
Yeah, because they've got pick 9.
Good fuck.
Well played by them, in fairness.
So obviously, big signings is Travis Kelce coming back. I think it's as a retirement thing, and I do respect teams that do this. Like
And his contract, people up in arms about his contract.
His contract.
It's fucking nothing.
It's like
It's so incentive based, and the first year, there's no guarantee.
I think it's It's essentially a 1 year, $12 million contract if he's like a top 5 tight
forget about the money. Put the money aside for a second. Do you think that they should have re-signed?
Yep.
Or you should have just
Yep.
why not just let him ride off into the sunset?
No, because he doesn't want to. So do you let him ride off into the sunset another team, or do you bring back one of your heart and soul leaders?
I think he was still a top 6 tight end last year.
I think that's a stretch.
I think
but
tight ends are weak. He's a top 10 tight end in the NFL still.
Yeah,
a top 10. We can argue.
I think he finished last year 6th or 7th. So, but
I actually think he was 4th in tight end yards.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but if you're feeding him anyway.
My point is, yes, I think bringing him back, he's a leader of your team. He's a big feature piece of your team. Swifty will be in the stands. It's bums in the seats. It's money in your pockets. It's all it all adds up.
And if they're expecting Mahomes to be healthy at the start of the year, internally they're probably like, hey,
he's already
red hot crack of having another shot.
Mahomes is already training.
Yeah,
Justin Fields isn't starting a game for the Chiefs this year.
No. And internally, we say that the 49ers think that they're still in their window. I would say that the Chiefs are more in their window than the 49ers.
Absolutely, they are.
The only caveat to that is Mahomes coming off the knee.
Yeah,
and it's going to be.
Yeah, and the division. It's not an easy division.
But it's not for the 49ers either.
No, that's true. Yeah, true. All
so
off the knee is a big question.
It is, yes, but they obviously feel like that he's ready to go if they're not investing in all of this.
Do you think they try and push him through, or do you think they hold him back a little bit to make sure his knees 100%?
No, I think they have to try and hold him back.
Yeah, I was just saying, I think he's that sort of guy. Like, you don't be as good a football player as Patrick Mahomes without having that psychotic drive.
Oh, he's extremely competitive. Like all NFL players that make it to the NFL, you've got to have a level of competitiveness in you.
But the ones that get to that level are
that's my point.
He's
when we're
another
talking
level
the Brady's, the Mahomes, the Peyton Mannings, they're psychotic.
Yeah, look, I agree.
Like Peyton Manning came back from a broken fucking neck.
No, broken, fused vertebrae.
And then won an MVP.
Yeah.
And one of the best offenses ever.
And Mahomes is in that tier where he is currently. He's in that tier of guys. Yeah. So obviously big additions, Kenneth Walker. It would be good for them. It's a huge upgrade is what we've been saying for years that they need to get that. That losing their 2 starting corners now, I think that Watson's probably you can accept that.
I could call the Duffy. Makes no sense to me.
So the reason why the Duffy one makes sense is because they're going to save a heap of cap and draft Massenor Delane, who is the corner from LSU,
highest rated corner in the draft, who could very, very comfortably be there.
I think he's going to be there at 9.
I think so.
I think the only team that may take him is the Saints, but if Banks is on the board, it's not Banks. If
Downs, but then they'll happily take Downs.
Exactly.
They'll be like, you beauty, we're happy with that too.
They're going to get one of those 2 guys. And I think
they'll get one of the best 3 defensive players in the draft.
Yep, definitely. I think Delane's an absolute stud. I don't care if he's coming off, if people have poking holes in his game, he can play in any scheme. He's bulletproof, comes down, hits hard. He's a great coverage guy. Great leader guy. I think he's a sure thing, to be completely honest. I think that he's, as far as corners go, he's as complete as can be.
I once heard a story about a guy named Morris Claiborne that the Cowboys traded up to draft, that he was the surest thing in draft history. Just wanted to add that.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, it didn't work out.
No, yeah.
It happens.
It does happen. But
as Billy Bean once said, you told me when you know, and you don't know.
Yeah. No, I think that the Chiefs, they've obviously got a lot of deficiencies on the O-line, and I don't think that they would go there. I just think that when you've lost Watson and McDuffie, you have to invest in that DB position.
Yeah, I think so too.
And you're in a position to get either Downs or Delane. You get one of those 2 guys.
Yeah.
And you
very fair.
You work the rest out after. You can get O-line in the 2nd and 3rd rounds. There's a drop-off. There's enough good guys in the draft that
they also like that, like Simmons, their left tackle, which was a mysterious sort of.
Yeah, he had a weird patch in the middle of the year.
There
was something personal going on.
The first half of the season, he was lights out.
It was really good.
Yeah,
and I don't see any reason why that won't continue. Like, left tackle's solid for them; they're locked in.
And they've just cut bait on their right tackle, who's not bad. He just holds a lot.
And
He's still a
can't-
free agent.
and can't line up at the line of scrimmage properly.
That's an issue.
Most
Yeah.
penalised. But like I said, it wouldn't shock me if they bring him back.
Well, yeah. So,
See how the draft plays out and bring him back.
yeah. And
Overall, what do you think? Do you think these guys? So you said before internally they think they still got a shot. What about externally? What do you think?
when you got Mahomes, you're not really out of a game.
Fair. And then I don't think the defense will be like much worse.
I
think
would
it'll still
trust
be pretty-
Spags. I would trust Spags. I think what we've seen from Sheed, is it Sheed, the corner that went to Tennessee for all the money?
Yeah.
He dropped off a cliff. Like, he's only like 29 now. And he's almost going to be out of the league.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
So I think that, and they've still got Reed, the safety, who's
Really
a
good
stud.
Yeah.
I think Spags is one of those guys that makes corners look a lot better in his system than what they are. And the Chiefs over the last 5 years just seem to find stud corners. So I would back them in. This caliber of team compared to where they were in Super Bowls is probably not as good. But you got Mahomes, and you've got potentially one of the better offenses that he's had over the last few years, with Rice being healthy, Worthy being
And not being suspended.
and yeah.
I saw that travesty, absolute travesty.
Anyway, that's neither here or there. But so you got Worthy in year 3 is a crucial year for him. You got Kenneth Walker, who's a bit of a hit and miss running back, but it's a huge upgrade from what they've had. So I don't think that they're a full contender, but they're probably the best team that's not a contender.
The way I look at it is as follows, and I'm on the record as being a Chiefs hater, and that's fine. So everything I say is obviously going to be biased, but I think defensively they're going to be a lot worse. They've lost some good players, and guys are getting old. Karloftis' play since he got his contract has been
Hit and miss. Yeah.
patchy at best. I think Chris Jones is still a good player, but he's nowhere near the level that he was. I do agree with your point that Spags is the kind of guy that can get a lot out of a little. So he's going to be trying to squeeze every last bit of that.
I think whenever you got Bolton on the defense, you're going to be pretty good as well.
Bolton's so good.
Bolton's an excellent player. There's no doubt about it. I just wish he wasn't in a Chiefs uniform. Yeah, because then I could like him. At least I'm open with my biases. You understand?
Fair.
So, and I think offensively, I don't see it. Kelsey's old, slow. He's probably only got 6 good games in him for the whole year.
Yeah,
at
potentially.
best-
But
at
he's
best.
probably their 4th threat on offense.
All right. And the other, I think they've overpaid for Walker for what I think it's too much money for what he is, and what he produces. As you said, he's very like hit and miss. And the elephant in the room is Patrick Mahomes coming off a torn ACL. I just think that we always talk, as you especially talk about the year after the year.
Yeah,
I don't see, even if he's by some miracle, and yeah, he's a psycho, he's probably training the house down. He's probably going to be ready for week 1. They're probably going to have to strap him down for him to not play. He probably will start week 1, but I'd be very surprised if he's anywhere near his best. And don't forget that he's coming off a pretty poor year, even before he got injured.
that's very fair. Yeah.
Bad. And the year before, he wasn't that much better either.
Oh, the year before,
The year before, when they made the Super Bowl, he didn't have a great year.
It was a very bad offense.
He had
Yeah,
a bad offense, and he had a pretty average year.
I
fair.
think that he raised the offense to a point where they could get to a Super Bowl, though. I think the offense.
I have my thoughts on that, but I'm not going to repeat myself for the 1,000th time.
Yeah, look, I definitely agree, but I think where Mahomes can be the outlier coming off an injury is his arm talent is just so supreme. Where, like, if you're comparing him to, say, another, and quarterback's a little bit different, where mobility is not necessarily.
He does rely on his mobility a lot.
Yes, but he can probably get by with 85%. But like, if you're a receiver coming off,
He doesn't rely on his top speed. He relies on moving in the pocket.
His
Yeah.
movement and his little
his
waddling, his little sneakers.
that is definitely true. But even if he comes back at 85 to say 90% of where he was in his prime, that's probably enough for him to maneuver a pocket.
Is he a little bit too far removed now from his prime?
No, I don't think so.
He hasn't really played that to that high elite level in like 3 years.
No, because we still see it. It's just I feel like
This is consistently I'm talking about. Like, he does have patches, I agree.
Yeah.
And it's normally in crunch mode.
in crunch.
Yeah.
That's with a little bit of help. But that consistently playing at that high level, he's probably about 3 years removed from that now. And coming off the knee.
Probably not 3. Last year was definitely not as good as what he had been. But
I thought the year they went to the Super Bowl, I know Philly drummed him, but I actually thought he had a pretty good year. That
yeah, he wasn't
was
too bad.
One of the worst offensive lines in football, and
had no receivers.
It was a pretty atrocious group.
He made Juju Smith look like he should be in the league. Oh, come on. Can't have a serious conversation.
Look, I am having a serious conversation, but it's also a thing.
All right, what about all the false starts for the fucking tush pushers? How many flags do you want to talk about? You haven't run the play properly once.
Buffalo run it properly, which is a great segue into the next team, the Buffalo Bills, who are my team.
Brilliant.
Interesting year for Buffalo. Obviously, new head coach.
New old head coach.
The OC has been promoted. The offense will say very similar. I went to the defensive side. Our boy Jim Leonard, who played for 10 years in the NFL. I remember him from his Jets days. He was a pretty handy safety.
Yeah.
Which is as a white guy playing defensive back,
You
we always
remember
give him props.
Yeah.
He was a decent dude.
Mount Rushmore, I think.
Yeah,
There's probably only 4 guys. So
Harrison. Yeah.
he's up there.
If Cooper DeJean hangs around for another 3 or 4 years, I mean, like he's probably Mount Rushmore of white DBs.
He's already on there. He's got a pick 6 in the Super Bowl.
It's
bro.
Jason Sehorn 1, and then give me the
Harrison's got to be there.
All right. So defensively, they got younger. They cut some players who weren't playing up to the contract anymore. Milano, he's still a free agent. I wouldn't doubt that he could come back.
I think they're going to draft somewhere.
Also, very important to understand they're swapping from a 4-3 to a 3-4.
Yep.
He doesn't necessarily suit playing middle linebacker in a 3-4. It's not his shtick. He wants to be unblocked and run and be an athlete, and 3-4 linebackers cannot do that. Yeah. You've got to be able to mess with the big boys.
You need to be really good at block shedding.
Yes. So I think that's probably why it moves on. Teron Johnson, they traded again. He wasn't playing up to what they were paying him.
Mm-hmm.
Moved on from that, which is a good move. They have some really good pieces in Ed Oliver. Rousseau's a very underrated defensive end.
He's not underrated here. We love him.
Yeah.
Same with Ed Oliver.
And then
Ed Oliver was all pro last year before he got hurt.
I think Ed Oliver is going to be electric in this scheme too. He fits the 4-eye perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll be forced to play nose tackle unless they can do some stuff, which I'll talk about later. But I think he could play any position on the 3-4 on that line and be dominant.
Mm-hmm.
Bradley Chubb, I think that's a really good signing. I think
it'd be interesting for a 3-4 though.
He's going to play outside linebacker. He's going to be a stand-up rusher. It'll be a similar role.
Yep.
And then Rousseau will be the same on the other side.
I love the Chubb signing for what it's worth.
Yeah, I just think I think it's better than the Joe Bosa signing and the Von
I think
Miller
they got
signing.
pennies on the dollar for that.
Yeah, I think it's a good move. I think they really made it happen. Offensively, adding DJ Moore for a 2nd-round pick was outstanding. I know people are off DJ Moore.
Oh,
people are.
I'll fight them to the death. People
are shitting on the Bills because they were adamant the Bears were going to trade. The Bears were going to cut him anyway. Why would you trade him? Do you think the Bills were the only players in that trade? Like, do you think when the Bills went, when the Bears went, hey, we're probably going to cut DJ Moore unless someone wants him. Do you don't think there was 20 teams knocking on the door going, hey, we'll take our chance. We'll take him. So
I have the biggest flag on DJ Moore Island, and I have from day one.
I think he's such a good player.
And just before you move on from DJ Moore, just like the people that are shitting on the deal, like just think about it from a value point of view. Like you're not drafting a receiver in the 2nd round that's better than DJ Moore.
No way.
Not in this draft.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. And you need
double G's.
Touch. Let's all.
I know you want to touch me.
Love boy over here.
And so it's as far as value goes, it's an unbelievable trade.
And it was their biggest weakness, and it's going to make Shakir better. It's going to make Keon Coleman better. Like this gives Keon Coleman the best chance to become the player that they want him to become.
And it's a pivotal. You know, how many times am I going to fuck it up?
Tom, write this one down for next week.
It's a big year.
Take a breath, bro.
It's late.
It is a big word for you.
It is.
And nobody else. That's it. My last point on the offense was I truly believe as long as you have Josh Allen, you got every chance to compete and win a Super Bowl. I think I said before, Josh Allen's 1 of 1. If he's healthy, which from all reports he wasn't even that healthy last year, he had surgery on his ankle. I think he's coming in with all guns blazing.
I think that we're going to get one of the biggest. When we said this time last year that we're going to get a bit of a fuck you, Josh Allen. We're going to get the epitome of fuck you, Josh Allen.
I'm not going to
I
be
think
shocked
that
if it's like one of the best MVP seasons ever from Josh Allen. It wouldn't shock me at all.
I think that he walked out of that stadium after the call that didn't go his way, the way that defense let him down.
And he didn't play well in fairness in that game either.
No, he didn't, but he played well enough to keep them in the game and to get them in front.
Yep.
The fact that the Patriots went to the Super Bowl, and then I felt like he would feel like, and I felt like that the Bills were a better team than the Patriots if they played each other.
Absolutely, they were.
At that point of the year, and that the Broncos fucking went into the game injured, and he would feel like that was the year that they should have been to the Super Bowl, and I think that he's going to come out absolutely all guns blazing next year.
I hope so, because if we get Josh Allen in fuck you mode, like just put a Cassidy belt on me, I'm done.
Yeah,
like strap me up.
And
obviously,
we're all
sorry, not Cassidy.
we're all pretty pro Josh Allen in this podcast.
Pro Joe.
Do you think that?
How late is it? We are.
Do you think that they're good enough to win a Super Bowl, even if with Josh Allen in fuck you mode? I'm not sure that they are.
Yep.
Maybe
I know that they have enough talent overall.
Maybe not, but I think that Josh Allen would be saying that I lost that game for the team, rightfully or wrongfully. He would be feeling that all off season, and I think that he's going to be like, that's not going to happen again. We may lose because of another reason, but we're not losing because I turned the ball over 3 times.
It's not the first time he's lost big games, though.
Oh, no, his playoff performances have been out.
Hang on. That is a ridiculous statement.
But he has lost a lot of big games. He's
actually the best playoff quarterback in the history of the NFL.
His performances have been good. He's been okay. They've been great. But he's lost a lot of
2 games in the last 30 seconds of the game because his defense couldn't hold position.
1 in 13 seconds.
Scott, you're playing exactly into my point. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter how well he plays. His performances overall in the playoffs have been short of exceptional. He couldn't play any better. I just don't know they've got enough talent to be able to get it over the line.
All I said was that he would have felt like last year that he could have dragged that team to the Super Bowl, and he let that opportunity slip because he didn't play up to his standard. And in result, we're going to see a massive fuck you, Josh Allen, next year. I'm not going to say that they're going to win 14 games and storm into the Super Bowl as favorites, but they may have the best offense in the league because of Josh Allen.
Even if that's true, which they probably will, like he's going to have another great year because he's a hell of a player. There's no doubt about it. A little bit of a question mark with new head coach Joe Brady. It's a little bit of a question
mark. His guy.
So I just don't know that there's overall enough talent in order to get him to a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I don't think there is.
That's fair. All right, and then draft. Obviously, pick 26. I think they'll go defensive back. Emmanuel McNeil Warren from Toledo.
Oh, the safety.
Yeah, I think that's a guy. Because like I said, there's not going to be a lot of high-end corners left.
Or you wouldn't go Hood with Tre'Davious White not on the list anymore. He's a free agent.
Like I said, if they're there, they're going to have to just see what. When you're picking in the end of the first round, you don't know what other teams are going to do. You don't know who's going to jump up in front of you.
Yeah,
that was just the guy that I think could be there. There'll be plenty of guys that'll be there. And they've got CJ Gardner-Johnson this year, and they've got Bishop. So I think that gives them a long-term plan. I think he'll take Gardner-Johnson's spot, but I'm just saying that I think that that's an option. The other thing is changing to a 3-4. Everyone knows in the 3-4, one of the crucial parts is a nose tackle. Caden McDonald from OSU, he is a massive human being.
Yep.
If he's there still and you can bring him in, that one thing that does is it gives you the solid nose tackle that can't be moved. And then that allows Ed Oliver to not have to play nose tackle at all, which is the greatest benefit to that defense. If he can play 4-eye, giddy the fuck up. He's going to annihilate some guys.
The only issue I would have with that is that they're hanging on to their window like we've just been discussing. Can you burn a first-round pick on a nose tackle?
Maybe not. The Cowboys a couple of years ago with Najee Smith and it didn't work out at all. Or if it was me and Dexter Lawrence is available, pick 26, get Dexter Lawrence, get the best defensive lineman that's in maybe in the league.
100%.
Bring him in, and then your defense is you're gearing to go.
Yeah.
And the real positive is that he fits the scheme really well. So it's a win-win because the Giants are rebuilding. Like there's no point wasting Lawrence's prime. Like take the pick, get another good first round pick in the building.
I hope we're talking in 2 weeks' time that they've done it.
It's a win-win.
I hope
it's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned.
It's probably more unlikely than likely, but God, I hope it happens. It'd be outstanding for.
Why do you think it's unlikely?
It's very unlikely with 31 other teams that it lands on the exact spot that it happens because a shitty team like the Jets or the Browns or the Falcons might come in and go, "Hey, we'll give you a first and a second."
Well, the Falcons won't be because they're fucking shit and they keep trading away for.
All I'm saying is Dexter Lawrence to the Bills, match made in heaven. Make it happen. Make it happen. Brandon Bean, save your job. That's what'll save your job.
Fair.
Yeah, everything will be forgotten if you bring in Dexter and he dominates and you make a run. It'll all be forgotten.
Dexter Lawrence on that team makes them a legit contender, in my opinion.
I think it would be a massive. The scheme change, everything. It fits.
Legit contender.
All right, Georgie boy, you've got our last team.
Last but not
The
least, we've got
Washington Commander Redskins
the
football team.
Stinky Washington Redskins who had a terrible year last year.
They're predicted.
Wispy boy.
Hey, well done by all of us.
Oh yeah, we rode that home.
I think we were the only ones actually.
We got on that train
So we got
very early.
Wispy Jaden Daniels, who was injured for most of the year because he was ragdolled, because he's a grown man who's built like a child. Well, he is.
He's like 6'4". Give him a
No, he's not 6'4".
We look
And you know what? Even if he is, he plays small.
He plays small. Like Dan Orlovsky, he plays small.
He plays skinny. He plays skinny. Doesn't matter.
Does.
He plays skinny. So they've done the same thing that they did last off season and tried to rebuild the roster with free agent mercenaries. They've added a few little sneaky good little pieces. They signed Duff Aowe. I think they overpaid a little bit to get
100%.
They did overpay.
He's a good player, but they've overpaid him. Standard for Washington.
Yeah,
they got Leo Chenal again. Who's a solid linebacker
from the Chiefs.
Chig Conway, great name.
Great, the tight end.
The tight end,
yeah.
Titans.
Great.
Yeah.
So they've added a few good pieces on defense, which they needed to because their defense absolutely sucked last year. I'm thinking they're going to want to draft because they got pick 7.
Yep.
In the draft, so I'm predicting they're going to get either Styles or Banks or whoever's available. Basically, I think on the top of their board will be Sonny Styles. I'll be very surprised.
It'll be best defensive player, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think if Carnell Tate falls to them, if he's there at 7, do you think they take the wide receiver?
I don't think
Jaden Daniels rookie contract.
I don't think they want to burn a first round pick on a receiver that high in the draft. I just don't know that that's the smart play. But then again, it is Washington.
And Dan Quinn is their coach, so he will want a defense.
He'll want a defensive guy. He'll want to show up the defense because it was really, really bad last year.
I think that they got Dan Quinn guys in. I think Adofe and the linebacker
Leo Chenal.
Chenal, yeah.
Actually, great name. Leo Chenal. It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. They're very good high end guys. They're not elite guys. They're just I think
starters.
And I think that they're the kind of guys that Dan Quinn can put in the right positions and get and maximize their talent, which is what Dan Quinn is quite good at. He's done
it everywhere he's went.
Yeah, he's got mid to good guys.
Mate, he took that Cowboys defense when he took over. It was fucking atrocious, and he got a lot out of it very little.
So I agree. I do like their moves. I think that they've still got a lot of question marks on offense, and I don't think they're going to be in the business of offensive line though. So
yeah, O-line's subpar.
Running back is a big issue as well.
Realistically, they should just draft a tackle. They'll probably get the best tackle or the second best tackle in the draft.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to.
No, I don't think they will. No.
I would personally, because your defense, I don't know. I think Downs and Styles will be gone, and then you're going to be forced to take a tackle.
Yeah.
Well, holistically, it's the right thing to do. You've got your quarterback.
You have to protect him.
Exactly.
He's hurt too much.
He's 88 kilos. Like, he's too skinny, man. Like,
Can
I
ask you guys a question on Jaden Daniels?
Yes.
Is a big if, and this is a lame hypothetical.
We're not allowed to do hypotheticals here. We can only judge them on what they've done.
We're allowed to use hypotheticals as long as we accept their lame.
No, you got to say their lame.
Yeah, lame hypothetical. If Jaden Daniels plays 17 games next year, doesn't get hurt, are they a playoff team?
No, I don't think there's enough talent on offense.
Oh, you guys are in the NFC East. Who are they playing this year? The AFC, the NFC West, and who?
It's not the easiest schedule in the world. They've got some good teams. I think they play the Broncos, Chiefs, and
so they got the AFC West. They got 2 West.
So, yeah, I think so.
Nah, they're not a playoff team.
There's not enough talent on offense.
I personally think they are because I think this division's going to come to a bit of a level playing field.
Yeah, but
I think Cowboys will be better. I think Washington will be better. I think Giants will be better. How better they are. And I think the Eagles will be good, but they'll come down a little bit to the party.
I do agree with what you're saying there, but if they're going to play the 2 West, they're probably not going to beat San Fran. They're probably not going to beat the Rams.
They'll only beat Arizona in that division.
And they're probably only going to beat the Raiders. Yeah. So they're not going to get too many out-of-division wins, and I don't think there's going to be enough for them to be a playoff team that's going to have the NFC North that may have 2 to 3 guys, or the NFC West that might have 2 to 3 guys.
Yeah, I just think if he plays, if we look at it from like injuries turned off, which we like to do, I think if Jaden Daniels plays every game, it gives them a lot of opportunity to.
What do you think the likelihood of that is, though?
Of extremely unlikely.
Because and that's a big problem.
If we're going to go from the lame hypotheticals to the facts,
to reality,
yeah, and then that's history tells us that he doesn't.
Gets banged up really easily.
He's played 2 seasons. First season was okay. He only missed a couple of games, but then last season, yeah, they put him on ice at the end potentially, but they
brought him back, and then they
did. Yeah,
that's right. And he got injured again.
But he was done when it mattered. He was injured when it mattered, which was the early games when they couldn't win without him.
Yep.
No, but they were also subpar when he was playing as well for the first 4 to 6 weeks, whenever.
I think Mariota in a couple of games actually played better than him last year.
He did, and they brought him back too.
Yeah. So that's all I'm saying.
Interesting.
It's an interesting team.
I think they're better than what they were last year, and I think that they're probably better than when they made their championship game, because I think they just overachieved dramatically.
They were the New England Patriots that year.
Yeah, they just overachieved, but I think that tough out of division games, and the division will be a little bit more competitive than where it was a few years ago.
Yeah.
My prediction is that they won 5 games last year, and they were pretty bad overall. I predict that they will be better this year, but they're probably still only going to win 5 or 6 games.
Maybe 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the division's going to be tougher, and playing the West is going to be tough.
Yeah, because I think the Giants and Cowboys will definitely be better next year. The Cowboys can't be worse defensively, and the Giants can't be worse offensively.
The Giants just can't be worse.
It's almost statistically impossible for both those things to happen, that they're worse.
Yeah.
It'd be historical.
Well, that's why they brought Harbour.
The Bengals have done that for years.
They brought Harbour in to lift the whole tide there. So
yes, that's right.
We'll see.
We'll see how it plays out. All right, that is it for our What's the Plan. As usual, if we missed anything, if there's something you want to touch on, if we got something wrong, let us know. Tell us what we got wrong about your team. Lockie, looking at you, big Kempy boy. Tell us, actually not big Kempy boy anymore. 35 kilos down to our big Cam.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking shout out to you. It's probably more now. Shout out to you, big fella.
Oh, man. Good for you.
Yeah. Love you, mate. I hope you're feeling great. And thanks for sending some stuff to me today for the Buffalo Bills. Hopefully you can get
so you didn't do your own research. You scumbag.
It was only at 9:00 tonight. I guess sent me some. And I already had it in the notes. But anyway.
That's
but
right.
yeah, shout out. Hopefully you can get down for the NFL game and we can catch up with you. But
absolutely.
Yeah, if we got anything wrong, we missed something, let us know. If we got your team wrong, if you're the one Washington fan in Australia and we got your team, we got your assessment wrong, tell us why you're going to be a playoff team. Make sure you get on our socials, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and the Tickety Talk. And shout out to our beautiful friends at Sporting Globe Churnside Park, David and Eloise down there doing God's work. And
absolutely.
You'll see us next week.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Peace.